they got fat.
Podcasting. A poor man's career.
That was a penis.
These are the conversations of the Alpha Podrants. Its weekly mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out Easter eggs and critical analyses, to coldly bellow like no nerd podcast has done before. This is Alpha Podrants. Yes, this is Alpha Podrants.
Boobies! What is this video? Can you see my face right now? Oh, apparently you can. What the fuck is this here? Jesus Christ, you're on mute, Luke. I don't think I've seen anything more horrible than that. What was that? Was the worst? What is that? There was a disgusting gelatinous glob monster in it, number one. That was terrifying. Number two, the sound of it. And, oh my God, are you wearing a Star Trek shirt?
No. You can't tell that from here, can you? Oh, wait.
I'm not sure if he's... Oh, you piece of shit. Charles, look at
Yes. So, I bought this when I was probably like 18. And now it fits like it's supposed to. Wow. You were oh, man. You were talking about nipples? Oh, good thing we got this overlay.
I was going to save it, but talk about crazy. Wow. I gotta say. Well, folks, this is who Stevie Lou is afraid of. Just be aware out there. This is Jesus Christ. These are
all right, everybody. It's another Alpha Podrants, and I am your host, your main captain, Luke John. How are you doing? And yes, I am wearing my old... it's really tight. You know, I got the pips over here somewhere. I just didn't put them on. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I deserve a rank.
No, you should be wearing the pips. Pips?
I know.
Is that what they're called? Pips?
Also, we have Charles Weeden. I'm not sure what his name is for today. We have to check. We must check. I must do it. The one everyone
Computer
loves.
status report.
Status report.
Computer status report.
Status report. Didn't he say status a second ago?
You're the computer? Okay, give us a report.
Do not play games with me.
Yeah, what Worf said.
Yeah.
And then there's this dude.
Get off my ship.
You know, that guy. Okay, so now it's Jim, I guess. The most scariest creature that there ever was. Right? That's what we've been told. I can tell this is going to be a problem. All right. We're here today to review Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Season 2, Episode 3, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow.
Clever.
So it was, it was one of those... There's a few episodes like this, and I actually really like this kind of episode where you get a duo that goes out and has to solve something together, and you get a lot of nice interaction between the characters and character development, and that's kind of what we got today, right? Right. Well, when did you guys watch it? You watched it before me, didn't you?
I watched it. Charles, didn't you just watch it?
No. I watched it yesterday.
I don't think we did get much character development, though, because it was an alternate timeline, Kirk, and then another character who really can't ever speak of her developments. Though, from the trailer of next week, I'm wondering, because she gets some sort of effect when she's viewing something with Pike, she's like looking through a sniper lens or some shit, I don't recall. But something happens in her head and she feels a certain way, and they mention it, they allude to something. So maybe she's got some time sickness, like Giorgio.
Yeah, maybe.
Look, Giorgio only got the time sickness thing because she was from the mirror universe, and then she got pushed forward in time by like almost 1,000 years. That was the only reason why she had the time sickness. But La'aan, I don't see her getting the time sickness because, sure, she went back in time hundreds of years, but then she returned to her normal time. So
Yeah, but
time sickness doesn't apply here.
But she went through like a dozen different tangible universes, technically. She wasn't just like in one divergent timeline. It was a whole bunch of them, to the point where Khan was now a child in 2022.
Which at the same, one thing I will bring up, that's not how it's supposed to be.
Well, that's because the character, I guess we'll just get to it. The Romulans were doing what we talked about last week, ironically, and they were preventing humans from reaching warp
So they completely
capability.
retconned the start of the eugenics wars.
No, the Romulans attempted to, but the actions of La'ana, as you say, what's that her name? La'ana?
No, La'aan.
La'aan and alternate timeline dead Kirk. We've now witnessed James T. Kirk die twice in the franchise over the last half century. Right? That's the only two deaths. Did evil Kirk die? But that doesn't count. Anyway, that's a mirror universe. We saw this Kirk die, and that put things back to the correct timeline by the end of it. But the Romulan woman kept trying for 30 years, since the 90s, to assassinate Khan or to stop everything. But just like in reality, in our universe, there's a course-correcting code, a mathematical course-correcting code that's been found. They were kind of hinting on that theory where the universe just kept correcting everything she was doing for 30 years to the point where here she is now.
Oh.
So every attempt that she made to try to slow down humans' progress, the universe was continuing to rectify her changes.
Yeah. She'd either fail or it would be rectified some way or another.
Okay. So she didn't
I'll be right
stop
back.
it. So what she did, so what she was trying to stop wasn't stopped. It was just postponed.
Basically, which is what they say would happen now, as if you were to go back in time and somehow try to stop your grandparents or parents from meeting each other to prevent your own birth. Some way, somehow, the universe
That's
would
called the
correct
grandfather paradox, dude.
Right, but apparently there's actual code in the universe that disproves the grandfather paradox.
Well, no, the grandfather paradox is going back in time to kill your own grandfather.
Yeah.
That's the grandfather paradox.
But it doesn't. I would argue it doesn't have to just be to kill him. I mean, it would.
Well, I mean, it's not,
just a matter of.
It's not necessarily killing your grandfather. It's preventing your grandfather from meeting your grandmother,
Right.
Who in turn gives birth to one of your parents, who
Who
would
then
in
give
birth
birth
give
to
birth
you.
to give birth to you.
So the grandfather paradox can be any sort of thing that would prevent your birth. It doesn't necessarily have to involve a grandfather, is what I meant.
It really does feel like the original where you have to down.
Your microphone's broken now, Mr. Titties. Put your little badge. Where's your badge? Why would you wear that? You just look like a gay porn star now. You look like you're gonna ice skate for us. You look like you're gonna fucking do aerobics or something. The show's going. Hold on. I have a button for this. I have a button.
Red alert.
It is red alert. Oh
Yes.
boy.
But while Luke is fixing his microphone issue, check.
Okay. But what you were saying about it being an alternate dimension, it wasn't an alternate dimension. An alternate timeline is not the same thing as an alternate
Right.
dimension.
Did I say alternate dimension?
You did, yes.
No, I said Kirk in the mirror universe. Oh, so that's what you're talking about. You're saying the mirror universe is another alternate timeline, not dimension.
No. The mirror universe is a parallel reality. That's what it is.
Alternate
it's a parallel
dimension.
reality. Parallel dimension and parallel reality are not the same thing.
He looks like a Star Trek guy. It's freaking me out.
Because a parallel reality will have another dimension. Am I still screwed up?
Parallel reality would basically be like having copies of ourselves. Like if there would be another parallel Earth that would have another version of me, another version of you, another version of Luke. But but in a parallel dimension, there wouldn't be other copies of us. There would be there might be other life forms there, but they wouldn't be copies of us.
Another dimension is basically in the same spot we are. It's just a different phase of matter in a way, right?
Yes. There would be a dimension that would be like the first dimension. Then there would be the second dimension. Then what we're in now is the third dimension. And then there would be the fourth dimension. Then there would be the fifth dimension. And then
don't they say it goes up to 13? Is it 11 or 13?
I don't remember.
I think it's 11 dimensions.
But I know in the movie Interstellar, when spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it, Matthew McConaughey goes into the black hole.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, but he ends up going into the black hole and finds this whole like tesseract like structure, and that is when he enters the fifth dimension.
I bet you'd find a tesseract-like structure inside Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah. He finds the fifth dimension, and it is revealed that the whole the whole fifth dimension and the fifth dimension beings that created the wormhole that allowed them to find these other planets was actually humans from the future. So yeah. But that's an entirely different. That's an entirely different conversation. There's 10
dimensions.
10 dimensions. Okay, I didn't realize that.
According to string theory.
Yeah, according
Luke
to
would
string
know.
theory.
Look at his shirt.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly. He looks like a nerd.
Can we get a count of how what's the over under? I don't even know how overs and unders work. What's your guess on how many more times I'm going to reference Luke's shirt tonight?
About 15 times.
I think you're right. 15 times.
Yeah.
Whoa. I don't like the way that sounded. I think it's over too little.
Oh, fuck. That's not what I meant, guys. That's not what I meant.
Don't like how that one sounded.
Oh, no. Do we have to erase this one?
We're going to have to delete this entire
that's
video.
That's not what I fucking meant.
Delete the entire
Damien,
video.
I'm so
Cut
sorry.
That. Cut
that. No.
Cut that. Cut that.
Oh, see, people are coming for us.
Challenge.
People are coming
This is going to be fun.
Oh, I didn't even realize it until after I already said it. Oh, God.
You know, one of these audio buttons is appropriate for right now. It's called Picard Face Palm. Let's listen to it. Wait,
that's a little crooked. That's okay.
It's done now.
Oh, God.
It ended.
What have I done?
See, what happened with the whole all the red shirts die and then they made the captain a red shirt?
They made all command positions red shirts.
Yeah, that's when they did that. Because in the original series, command was gold shirts.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The only color that's ever remained constant was the science officers. Because
light blue?
Yeah, light blue or green. Yeah.
Bane. So, I mean, all right, this was a time travel episode, but it was kind of in a weird way. Did you hate that, Charles?
To be honest, I was actually expecting not to like this episode, but I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I did. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I liked what they did with La'aan's character. I really liked what they did with her.
And her boobs. They iced up those nipples before that one scene. That was...
What are you talking about?
There was some big old hard nipples, and let me tell you, those are some big meaty nipples. You could tell because those pokies.
We'll get to it. Well, okay, I guess if you want to just
some...
fucking go.
Okay, I must have missed that because I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, well, I guess Luke's going to show you in a second, but you
know
what that's going to lead to, right?
Do you want to kiss an alien girl?
An augment girl. Do you want to have sex with Leon?
You don't want to play the whole thing?
Do you want to have sex with Leon?
No.
Leon?
Yeah, Leon from Curb Your Enthusiasm. Nope, this is not the nipple scene. She was laying on the ground, and those nipples were like gigantic. We shouldn't be talking about this on a...
Okay,
on a
we should. Well, but you mentioned that you thought she was very young, but you found
I said I felt last week when I said there's slim pickings on the ship and that she's one of the only okay looking chicks here. After I said that, I felt a little strange in this here new world, saying, I think that girl's too young for me to be saying, you know.
What about Nurse Chapel?
I don't find Nurse Chapel attractive. She looks like my mother. I don't find my mother attractive.
Okay. Well,
so I'm actually very unattracted to Nurse Chapel. But this one, the point. All right, big deal. All right, I'd have sex with him. It's his accent. It's just charming. But anyway, listen. Back to Leon. We were talking about having sex with Leon. Stop being gay. So
we're calling her Leon now.
I thought. Anyway, listen. Turns out she's not. This girl's only 3.5 years younger than Lucas and I. Older than Charles Weeden.
Really?
So yeah, I guess I didn't have to feel weird about saying she was not
how
ugly.
How old is she?
33.
She's 39.
Really? I'm gonna have to look this up. All right. Strange.
He don't believe you. The computer does not believe you.
Damn it. All right, Fennel, get your paws off my keyboard.
Computer, status report.
Yes, I need a status report for so much shit. All right. La'aan and James, Christina Chong.
You're right in between the stars.
Let's see.
Oh, wait, what was...
Apparently she was in Doctor Who as well.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't think I saw that
diagnostic on all command systems.
All right,
Must have
let's
been
see.
recent.
Let's see. Christina Chong is... Holy shit, she is 39. Holy crap.
Hi, Bertie.
I did not realize that. Wow.
So, Charles Weeden, it's totally cool if you want to have sex with an augment girl.
I mean, look, La'aan is cute.
You want to have her robot babies.
What? Augments are not robots.
Cyborgs, whatever.
Genetic robots.
They're not cyborgs either.
Manipulated robots. DNA. Programmed.
Also, I mean, is she really an augment? I mean, because I don't really know. Like, I mean, unless that sparring match with Mbenga, she was holding back, I don't know if she actually is an augment.
Well, yeah. Go ahead.
Because if she is an augment, and if she wanted to give it her all, she'd be able to punch directly through Mbenga's face.
Well,
and that's not a robot.
That Romulan she had a moment where she was kind of beating the crap out of her, just only for like a few seconds until the Romulan got her footing or whatever.
When she was fighting the Romulan, which also, by the way, that was the stupidest reveal I have ever fucking seen. Yeah, I was
Always
not
the
impressed.
Romulans.
I was not impressed by that reveal at all. I really wasn't. But
Yeah, that was a little weird.
yeah, but when she was fighting the Romulan, I know that Romulans, just like Vulcans, are stronger, like physically, than humans. They are stronger, but I mean, it seemed like if La'aan is supposed to be an augment, or at least have some augmented traits inherited from her ancestors, she should have been able to handle herself a lot better than she did.
I don't know, Charles
Because
Weeden. You just said it
it
there.
looked like she was struggling.
You
It looked
said
like
it.
she was struggling
Sure.
against the Romulan.
Only for half of that fight. It wasn't that much of a struggle. They barely broke a sweat, to be honest with you. And there was no scissoring, which was disappointing. But
Oh my
you
God.
said it right there, Charles. Romulans are stronger than humans, and she held her own damn fine in that battle.
She was like, look, she only managed to be able to defeat the Romulan by, emptying the entire magazine of the gun into the Romulan.
Yes, but she was still fighting the Romulan well. Go back to the boy kiss real quick. I want to comment to Richard Kish.
Yeah, here it is.
I want to comment to Richard Kish. Hi, Richard
Okay.
Kish.
Oh,
Hi,
Kish.
Richard.
Hi, Kish. Hi, everybody.
He said again that he watched one episode or so of Discovery and wokeness, blibbity blobbity, and again, yes, you can look at that and call it woke. We've said it here a billion times.
Woke me
The
up.
core of the franchise is awake. Star Trek's always been woke. They'd always have all types of. Riker was like Riker would have sex with all types of things. Besides, I mean, like gender wise, there was a whole weird gender tale with Riker.
I mean,
But
hell.
wait, go back to that boy kiss. There was a reason for it. Go back to those two men kissing. But this kiss
hell.
right here was goddamned well deserved in cinematic filming history. That man had just like come back from the dead or
passionate
some
kiss.
shit.
Riker even tried to get busy with a girl that had.
Okay, I don't want to look at this. Well, let's talk about Riker in a second. I don't want to keep looking at
He
the
doesn't
kissing.
want
As
that
wonderful
kiss.
as a nice, properly deserved kiss that it was, the point was those two men, one of them was dead, not just like, oh, he died and they resurrected him. He was like dead for a long time.
Let's talk about that for a second. How the fuck did they do that?
With science,
He
bitch.
was in the mycelial network, like as
Yes.
a spirit. I
It's
guess.
like being a buffer in a transporter.
So he's a mushroom clone now?
No,
Yes, he's a
his spirit, just like Luke Perry. That's why sometimes his ghost comes around and hangs out here. His spirit is tied to and exists within the mycelial network. That's why it was able to travel with it as all throughout the galaxy.
Let's say when someone dies, you just
Your
go
badge
into
is
the
tilted. It makes
What?
your titty look sagging. I'm sorry, carry
So
on.
it's just like so when someone dies, you can just jump into the mycelium and just rip somebody else. They're like, oh, you're not dead
In
anymore.
these circumstances, it was a little different, is all. I don't know necessarily how it happened, but the point was, it was a well-deserved kiss. It wasn't necessarily an evil homosexual agenda.
Look, when that kiss happened on the show, I was like, oh, that's nice. They love each other. It's just like it
That's
didn't freaking bother me. It didn't. I was actually more bothered by.
I don't ever feel a push. Sorry, Charles, but I don't ever feel a push of an agenda from the Discovery show, Mr. Kish.
I was more bothered by
Maybe
the
later.
sex scene involving the Klingon lady than I was by that homosexual kiss.
Yes.
I was more bothered by the naked Klingon. I was more
That
bothered
was
by
weird.
that. Yeah.
It was
It's
very
just like
weird.
I don't want to see Klingon tits.
And
So-
again, Richard Kish, Star Trek was never about pushing an agenda. Even though they just made in this very episode, Carol Kane, who, by the way, look how I'm pivoting back. Look how Daddy do it. Carol Kane, am I getting her name right finally? I just realized in this episode that's Latka's girlfriend from Taxi, and she's actually doing that particular character. in this show. So that's pretty fucking cool. But even she says to them at the beginning of this episode, she mocks the society in which Star Trek exists by calling it some sort of like commie socialist fantasy utopia or some bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't we already establish this?
Yeah, but hold up. But to end the thing with Richard Kish here, so the point is, on Discovery, on this, on all Star Trek, their ideology is dead fucking center where it should be. It's both left and right wing because a bird needs two wings to fly. Otherwise, it goes in a circle or it bumps its head. And, you know, birds are just little high, tiny dinosaurs and they're stupid. So, you know, they need. Okay, you go on, Mr. Weeden.
Didn't we already establish this a few episodes ago where we found out, where I pretty much said that according to Memory Alpha, which is the wiki site for all things Star Trek, where it says that the United Federation of Planets, according to the type of government that it is a democratic socialism.
Sure, but isn't that what we here in America actually are? Like a democratic, we're some kind of different name. Like, we're some kind of silly name. I'm stupid.
The type of government that the United States of America is supposed to be, I don't know if it is in practice, but it's on paper. It is supposed to be a democratic constitutional republic.
Oh yeah, something like that. I knew there was a kind of fancy name. But anyway, the point is, they don't. Even though the show is set in a certain sort of commie socialist utopia, they don't expound upon the virtues thereof. They argue both sides. You know what I'm saying? There's constantly conflict in the Star Trek universe about why that way isn't right. For instance, this very episode, the Romulans were trying to stop humans' progression to warp drive, so they couldn't enter the Federation because once Starfleet did join, it ruined everything, and they basically thought we were a bunch of jerk-offs and wanting nothing to do with us.
Wait. Enter the Federation? No, they were one of the founding races of the Federation.
The Romulans, right. But they didn't want Starfleet. They said once Starfleet became a member of the Federation, it ruined everything, and that's why this bitch was back there since the 90s trying to kill Khan. Which, by the way, original series fans, Khan buried alive. Khan! So, like, also, I thought it was very cool with little Khan in this episode because they gave you that whole "would you kill baby Hitler" kind of.
That was exactly what they did. You're right.
I thought that was fun. I actually, and this is gonna give me douche chills to say, but I got a little bit of chills when I realized that watching it.
Yes, me too.
Buried alive. I always feel like someone's trying to make me
you're making me want to watch Search for Spock.
I gotta get back.
Or
on
Wrath
my
of
movie
Khan.
binge.
You're making me want to watch Wrath of Khan. I can't
Just
believe
finished
I
them,
can.
dude. They're fantastic. Buried alive.
Computer, status report.
And I'm not even. God damn it! I'm not even on. I'm on. No wonder you keep. Stop it! You're gonna get Damien in trouble. Jesus Christ!
Oh my God! Fuck!
Clip is ridiculous. All right, so where are we at? Come on, guy.
All right, yeah.
This show is getting ridiculous. Let's get serious.
All right,
I did not play with toys.
Can I say something?
This is a serious show.
And this is.
I did not play with toys.
Sorry,
This
go ahead.
is probably going to make me sound like. Let's just move on. I'll go into my point here. I think it's a good choice with who they pick to play the child version of Khan, because one of my biggest criticisms of Star Trek Into Darkness is picking Benedict Cumberbatch to play Khan. That was one of my biggest.
Yeah.
They done whitewashed them.
Yeah, they whitewashed.
Oh, you know what?
And
That's all I
it's
got.
just-
But
Yeah, but it's just that was my biggest criticism in that movie. I like Benedict Cumberbatch. I think he's a good actor in pretty much everything he does. And even though he wouldn't have been my first choice to play Khan. When he played Khan, he played the role well because he did the best he could with what was given to him. So I don't fault him. It's not his fault. It is the casting director's fault. But he wouldn't have been my first choice. And I actually looked into it. He, aside from him, I think one of the other actors that was selected to possibly play the role of Khan was going to be Benicio del Toro, and I would have preferred him. I would have preferred him.
That'd have been very good.
I would have preferred Benicio del Toro to play Khan instead of Benedict Cumberbatch. But since Benedict Cumberbatch was the popular actor at the time, they went with him. But my whole point of bringing this up,
Jesus, Charles, Jesus.
My whole reason for bringing this up is that the actor that they picked to play the child version of Khan is accurate to Khan.
Listen, yes and no. Yeah. Look, I know there's going to be a lot of, I've been waiting to say this, there's going to be a lot of haters and red-faced tomatoes out there complaining about how dark young Khan was. But it's a hop and a fucking skip from, like, that should have been, when you look at Ricardo Montalban's Khan, and you understand that there was some pretty light-skinned men playing darker men back in those days, it makes you say that kid really does feel like an accurate Khan. There was something about his face. There's just something about him that said Khan to me. In my head, it screamed Khan when I saw him.
Then again, I mean, you think about, when people grow up.
Why not the first time? Why don't you just do it?
He does kind of have that longer face. Yeah, they were very close. And Khan was like a Spaniard, but he was dark for a Spaniard too, as well. He was
a Spaniard that was supposed to be playing somebody from India.
Yeah, so at least they got an Indian boy who looked Montalbanish.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't have like a blue sapphire in his hair.
You know, while that was perfect, in my opinion, and Mr. Weeden's, you know what's a little Kirk? I'm loving him, except for I don't think I've ever heard Kirk in the original series say, This one is constantly going, and like wagging his chin and going,
Well, I was thinking about this, though. There have been a lot of times, like Kirk will do kind of what I do, and maybe I picked it up from him, where he'll stop for a second and kind of look up, and like it just dawns on him. But yes, he wasn't going, but there was always a moment that happened. So maybe he's vocalizing it now, and maybe as he gets older, he doesn't do that as much, you know? Or maybe they even say something to him about it eventually. But yeah, I did notice that.
One of those things you grow out of, something you had noticed, and you're like, I'm gonna stop doing that. I go,
He's got that, like certain faces he makes in scenes. He does look a lot like a young, William Shatner.
Young Shatner is not the guy we really remember. We've got, 50 years of Shatner to work off of when we think of original series Kirk. And this kid here, Paul Wesley, is quite close to the spirit of original series Kirk. Young Shatner. Like young Shatner's face is very chiseled and like this guy, look at him. He's like, everything's all like in a straight line.
Yeah, definitely.
Charles Weeden would know. He's gay. Is this guy from
What?
Is this the guy from Vampire Diaries?
Yes, he is. Yes,
Paul Wesley was from Vampire.
He played Stefan Salvatore.
Oh yeah, and then I want to go back to this though. So yeah, these temporal people that they get this thing from. It's just so weird. Like so they were supposed
Charles
to be in 2022.
Weeden just told you it's him, Becky. Yeah, this is 2022. Well, if you go look, the wikis say in 2022. The woman told me, she's like, that was 2022, and I'm like, why do you say that? And she goes, because the lady said she'd been there for 30 years and she'd been there since 92. And I'm like, yeah, but she could just be saying a rough fucking 30 years and it's 2023 where we are now, which would kind of make more sense.
But they did.
So nobody
film
actually
this a
said
while
2022.
back. They probably filmed this in 2022. You remember? Because these pictures have been around for a while of them being on the street.
Oh, I think Richard Kish just gave me an amazing idea.
What's that?
That is true.
Oh my God!
could pass
I only
for
got
younger
one
person.
word. To say. I only got
Oh.
one word to say, and James
Engage.
doesn't know what it is.
Engage.
Wow.
Groovy.
You know what? When he's standing like this, he does have the sharpness of the nose too. Very
I got
sharp.
3 words. I got 3 words to say. Go back to that picture, but I got 3 words to say.
Make it so.
Make it so. We have a problem though here. And by the way, why is the
Give him a
Hellraiser music playing
chainsaw, a
after that?
boomstick, and a whole lot of badassery.
Can you make it bigger? You mean zoom in? Can you make it bigger on the any way we can zoom in on that hot dog? Do you have other
we can't.
pictures of that hot dog?
I
that
do
was
not.
some
That's the only.
gluten-free, vegan, fucking pussy Hollywood hot dog right there.
Well,
I'm
is it
telling
in-
you,
is
it
that
was
because it's in Canada?
ridiculous looking.
Maybe that's what they sell in the
Oh
streets.
well,
there.
maybe they do sell wheat bread hot dogs, and it's a regular I could see
Can you make it bigger?
Can you make it bigger? That's what she said about Kirk's penis.
Oh,
See,
I see.
Kirk was
You're-
asleep.
Can you
Kirk
make it
was
bigger?
asleep. And he
Make that bigger?
fucking still lured
bigger.
that woman in. She had to wake up out of bed quick. Show the picture of her titties and butt again. She had to wake up out of the bed in her underwear and go stalk Kirk while he was asleep because that's how much sex power he has.
Yes,
Yeah, but
she
can-
felt it
can-
right away.
Can I bring something up here? It's just
I think from here she felt it.
at the moment where after she gets back to the ship and she decides to call Kirk on the
It was a
That was
very
odd.
touching
She's a
touching
stalker.
scene.
it's a very touching scene, and I think she's gonna try to connect with this version.
I don't think
of Kirk.
so.
Well, yeah,
I
this
felt
had-
a very Donnie Darko ending. You know when he sees the girl he was falling in love with in the end of that one, just kind of, or no, he
I've never
doesn't
seen
see it.
Donnie
We
Darko,
see it.
so thank you for spoiling it.
Well, I spoiled it wrong, so you're fine.
Okay.
But the point is, it's just that kind of sad love that'll never happen vibe. You can almost see
but-
Mad World playing.
Look,
over it.
I seriously think that she's gonna try
Flip
to
it,
reconnect
Lucas.
with Kirk, and she's gonna do it in the most awkward way imaginable.
No, we don't want that, Charles, because
And
Kirk is
and
gonna
she's
hurt
going-
her.
And she's going to realize what type of person this Kirk actually is, and she's going to think that he is obnoxious as hell, and she's not going to like him.
Look at that. He woke
then-
her right out of bed,
oh.
and she slid right across the floor on her own slug trail of. So,
She's tripping so much.
vagina from the vagina.
It was like the mycelial network.
I think it's going to get to the point where she's going to try to connect with Kirk. She's going to realize that he's a womanizing, egotistical, asshole, and she's not
He's
going to like
gonna
him.
hurt her.
They're gonna
Although
be
he
butting
may-
heads. They're going to be butting heads. Absolutely.
No, does he
Bumping
come
uglies.
in as?
Bumping uglies. That's
They're
a
not gonna be bumping
reference from
uglies.
Tango and
Alon
Cash.
is going to
That's when they
realize
put
that
their
she
gins
doesn't
together.
like him.
So he was already a captain in that timeline, but I
Yes.
don't think he is in this timeline, right?
No, he's a
he comes in.
He's a
Okay, he comes in.
A
Oh, that's
captain
right.
of the USS Enterprise from a fucking Starfleet that doesn't even exist is a little
Hold on a
ridiculous.
second. I
by the way.
thought when he was introduced last season, he was the captain of the Farragut.
he might
Yes, not last season, wasn't he?
It was last.
No,
maybe
that was
for one
alternate
episode.
timeline. Which, by the way, Mr. Weeden, another thing to poo-poo your theory here that she is going to butt heads with him. I don't think we're going to see Kirk again at all. I think that's Kirk's role in this currently. That's what we've gotten so far. I realized it at the end of the episode. I was like, damn, the ramifications of this episode, of what happens between her and him going forward. How's she going to deal with that when she's meeting, Alpha Prime Timeline Kirk? And then I realized before we get to that fucking scene where she stalker called them, I realized, oh shit, last season we had an alternate timeline Kirk. This season we get an alternate timeline Kirk. There's gonna be no follow-up. And then that phone call happening, that was our follow-up. That was it. That was the end of Kirk for this season. That's my prediction.
They might find they might find weird ways to bring him back in every once in a while.
Look, I'm going to go ahead and go with your theory, Jim. I think with them continuing to show us and introduce us to Paul Wesley as Kirk, they're going to redo the original series.
Oh, fuck yes, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Beautiful.
I want it all,
Hopefully-
man.
Well, I mean, is the same girl going to play Uhura the whole time? Is Mbenga going to stay?
Oh, yes. Yes and yes.
I don't know.
Yes,
I
yes,
don't
and
know.
yes.
Also,
yes,
who
yes,
they're
yes.
gonna bring in to play Bones? Who they're gonna bring in to
Well,
play
that's the most exciting casting of the entire thing. Bones.
Can I be Bones?
I cannot. Nope, you cannot. You don't have it. I can't. Because you would bring a more of like a.
What do you mean?
Like Trip from fucking Enterprise. You'd bring more of him.
Trip
But here's
isn't
the
even
thing.
remotely close to Bones.
But that's what they were going for, and it didn't quite work. And that's what I think Luke would be, a Trip, not a Bones. But anyway, listen to this. The
more
reason
Walt.
why
You
they
trip
have
and you
to.
break your bones.
The reason, you son of a bitch. The reason why they have to reboot the
Speaking of
entire fucking timeline and give us the original series again is because we're this deep into the franchise and the original series was never completed. We never got
yeah.
the full 5-year mission. We
What
never
if-
got the full fucking plan.
They
There's
pick
so
it up
much.
from the end instead. We don't get the first 3 seasons. It starts at the end of that.
Well, I guess I would like that considering how fickle these streamers are and how frightened they get when viewership drips a little bit now.
So what? Are you saying that the ratings for Strange New Worlds have been going down?
No. I hear they're doing great.
It's actually very high. It's very, very high. And I think that's
I'm just
possibly
saying
why
if they
they
did go down.
they put a pause on Prodigy, because I think its numbers were so low compared to all the other shows that they decided, you know what, this is for adults. We're going to just stop this, sell it off to someone else and say screw it and just keep moving forward, because Strange New Worlds is doing so well. And they're probably going to start doing these one-off movies too, like the Section 31 movie. And
Which I
who
cannot
knows
wait
what
to
else.
see, because I love Michelle Yeoh, because she is an amazing woman, also not bad to look at.
Which is really a fun thing for you. Think about writing a small movie like that of Star Trek, where you don't have to write for an entire series. You don't have to have an arc that goes 10 episodes. You only have to have about 2 hours worth of a story. I mean, that's kind of cool. I like that idea. If they start doing that a lot.
I wouldn't mind if the Section 31 movie would be a little bit more than 2 hours. Like 2.5 hours.
Well,
That'd be fine.
I think a
Star Trek
movie
movies are a little long.
with that kind of look, Section 31 should be the hardest sci-fi of Star Trek. You get what I'm
Yes,
saying?
you're
Because
right.
It
The
really
best
should
technology.
be the nerdiest.
The
No,
most
I
intense shit.
just got excited about something, but then I got quickly shot down because I realized that the character that I was kind of excited to see again is not supposed to be alive yet. If this Section 31 movie is going to take place when I think it's going to take place, I was kind of hoping that we would see Sloane.
Who the fuck?
We
is
have
Sloane?
to. We have to see Sloane at some
Who's
point.
Sloane?
Section 31 is nothing without Sloane. Sloane is from
Sloane
Deep
is
Space Nine.
from Deep Space Nine. Yeah.
Oh, I've never
Section
seen
31 is going to take place during the Strange New Worlds era. Sloan is not even supposed to be born yet.
Yeah.
So
So he's the guy that meets Bashir, and he is pretty much the main, almost the main brain, or like the leader of Section 31, and he talks to Bashir a couple of times.
He's the leader. I would say that he is definitely high ranking, but he is not the leader.
Do you remember?
He definitely answers to somebody.
There was an episode where they had to enter his mind, and they had to find information about what was going on. So
I remember that episode.
Bashir and probably
Garrick.
Was it Garrick? Okay.
I think no, it wasn't Garrick. Who was it? Shit, there was somebody else in Sloan's mind as well. And besides, Garrick Sloan would never allow Garrick inside Sloan's mind.
That's true.
He would rather die than let a Cardassian in his head.
Because when they were in that office area inside of his brain,
you know what?
You remember they were like, "There's so many secrets in here. Wait, let me just look for a second. Let me keep looking."
What was it? Was it Cisco? Was Cisco in there?
I don't think so. It might have been. I think it was O'Brien. I mean, O'Brien had a lot of.
It might have been O'Brien. Yeah, it might have been.
Because he knows O'Brien knows technical things, and he's not as good at engineering. There it is.
That's it. Yeah, that's Sloan. That's Sloan right there. But
I thought it was a lady. I was thinking of like
it's a dude.
Parker Lewis's girlfriend or something like that.
No, it's a dude. But
Ferris Bueller.
This means only one thing. Time for a rewatch.
Yeah, you're itching to rewatch. Like, finally, time.
Well, you know what I have to say about that.
I've been wanting to
Engage.
I've been wanting to rewatch Deep Space Nine for fucking months.
Oh yeah, how about this little dig? Remember after he wins his chess game, he's like, "Yeah, I used to play with my first officer. Got tired of getting beat." And this like 1D version of it. I mean, that's for dummies. Like, oh yeah, the 3D. They have it in the other timeline, obviously.
Yeah, the 4-dimensional. Is it the 3rd dimensional or 4-dimensional? 4-dimensional.
Yeah, 3, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's 3. Oh, and one thing you don't always get in a in a Star Trek episode, we got a car chase. Well, they're chasing the van, and of course they have a nice muscle car that he knows how to drive well.
I felt this was a nod or a holdover from the Abrams verse, because when they had him in the beginning racing with the stolen vehicle to the Sabotage by Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
Yep. Those the same thing.
Those movies use Beastie Boys way too much.
Really? I don't recall. They're in. I got to rewatch them. They're not bad, but you've never, obviously for obvious reasons, never prior to that have we seen Kirk racing a car. Now we have 2 iterations of
also,
Kirk
where
in
did
a
he
muscle
learn
car.
how to drive a car?
Well, he learned it right there on the road, right in the scene that we saw it.
Yeah, but I mean, they don't even fucking drive in the future. They have shuttles and turbo lifts.
Well, maybe he's from a different timeline, so maybe.
That's true. Yeah, but then again, he said that Earth is a ruin. Like they have Europa and Mars and the Moon and all that.
Well, you could be driving in caverns in the moon as if you made it big enough. They have roads.
On mine carts.
Like Indiana Jones.
Da 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 da.
Oh, and then a little, anti-police moment. You can't search them. You can't do this. You're profiling them because they're Americans. Does that work in Canada?
Now, was this a joke on, like, is it called woke culture when they do this with the police? Or, like, is that cancel culture? I don't really know what it is, but, like, auditing, live audits of police. These are things you'll see on YouTube.
The thing is that I was a little cringy I was cringing at that part, but then I don't know. It's just
Because you know what they're basing it off of, but we're obviously not that extreme. So were they making fun of that and saying, look, this is what you're going to get if you push for that kind of a world? You're going to get somebody who just committed some serious crimes fucking just being let go out of fear of somebody's fucking cell phone and live stream.
okay. First off, I'm fairly certain. I don't know for sure, but I'm fairly certain that if somebody pulled that shit in real life, those two people that pulled that shit with the car, they'd still be arrested. Like the
I don't think
the person with the cell phone, like
for it.
saying all the shit that woman was saying, wouldn't escape the cops. They would have still taken those two people into custody, and they still would have gotten arrested.
They would have tased them.
Yeah.
Energize.
Oh yeah. So I was just like, I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I was kind of surprised that they let them off with a warning. I was kind of surprised by this, and like, really? It's just like you're letting a conspiracy theorist with a cell phone camera, like, scare you like that. It's just like, seriously?
It was certainly not the finest moment of the episode, that's for sure.
It was a little cringy. It was a little cringy. But then, of course, the reveal at the end of the episode, when we find out who this woman actually is, I looked back on that moment with her with the cell phone, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was
why
like,
are these people curious? Yeah.
Well, it's just like, I mean, I was kind of laughing about it because I was like, wow, a Romulan doing that whole woke and cancel culture crap. That's kind of funny.
You know,
it is kind of funny. They're very conservative.
Yeah, I was laughing about that.
You know what I did just notice? She looked like a younger version of that Romulan Picard was
you know what? You're right.
Juicing with.
You're right. Talon, which was the older version, right? The newer one, I can't remember her name, but Talon was the name of the agent that was the Romulan, that was her ancestor. So, how long do Romulans live?
They have the same lifespan as Vulcans, so about 200 years.
And what time did they go back to? In
this
Picard?
is not Talon. This is not Talon. I can tell you that much. It's not her.
Clearly. Yeah, but she does bear a similar look, and you know it's interesting. It's neat that they're kind of keeping.
I mean, we got 3 different agents from different areas now in this episode.
What I find interesting is that the Romulans have access to temporal technology.
At some point, they might. You don't know what time she's from. You know. Also, she must be. Oh man. See, now you start getting into weird quantum mechanics. Where what timeline is she from?
Oh,
is she from La'an's original timeline or Kirk's original timeline in this episode?
I don't. Since she recognized Kirk and recognized like his impact on the timeline, I think she's from much further in the future.
You know what? What happened was she was probably. So she was she's from both, because that's a divergent point. That's right. That's what they said. She was there, and then at the time they jumped back is where everything's changed, or something. Or no, because the other guy came in. Okay, so I think where the weird point is where he pops. This guy here pops into the hallway. So that's a divergence in our timeline right there. Because as soon as he shows up, she's in the other timeline. So they succeeded. So it must have been from the original timeline, went back, and then succeeded and changed the timeline.
Why?
Okay. I have a video that I want you to share. It's a 5-second video, but
that reminds me. Cool. Yes, do that.
Yes, I'm just gonna send it to you here.
All right, and in the meantime, nope, I think you won. Nope, who won? You won.
Who won?
Did you get it, Jim?
Yep, I got it, and here it comes.
I hate temporal mechanics.
Yes. I hate temporal mechanics.
Yes. That is one of my favorite Miles O'Brien quotes.
Because he's such a great engineer.
That's said by two, not one, but two.
Yes.
Miles O'Brien.
Two of them. Because temporal mechanics to him does not make sense. You know, everything else in engineering makes sense, and he can figure pretty much anything out. But not temporal mechanics.
Yes.
Shooters are approaching the bridge.
Oh, I actually have a interesting clip to share as well. It's a scene that I don't know if you guys caught from or rather, what did you guys think about this scene from the Enterprise show? What is the show called?
Strange New Worlds?
Yes. When she did the time, I'm just trying to do this stuff at the same time. Yeah, you know this scene when she first experienced that she was on Kirk's bridge instead of Pike's? Yes, this was a really neat scene. I wanted to play that real quick.
Captain, I need to...
Who are you?
Nope, I'm not going to play that real quick.
It's like, no.
Embarrassing fail.
What do you want?
All right, that was that. What an
What
embarrassment.
the hell was that?
It was Jim Carrey. Oh God! It was In Living Color's Star Trek parody.
Okay then.
They spliced it together. Yeah, it was a good clip.
It was a wonderful clip, but
I have never seen In Living Color.
apparently this computer is just not what it should be. It's just not. How's yours doing there, Richard Kish? Sorry to break the fourth wall, but I don't know.
Oh, really? You don't know?
I don't know about this fucking machine.
Oh, this is one thing I did want to mention. That's right, Mbenga in the fighting scenes. So
Did I say
we've now
JB
seen
or
him-
did I say Richard Kish? I forget.
You said
What
Kish.
What about Bango?
Okay, so he's been doing fighting in a couple episodes now. I read an article where they cast him, and then they found out that he's actually a very high-level jiu-jitsu master. And he didn't really
Well, I mean,
tell them. You know,
clearly we know he knows how to hold his own when he fought all those Klingons.
You said hold.
but I mean, in real life, the actor is a jiu-jitsu master, and they didn't
Really?
know that so they were like, "Oh wow, we could just kind of throw you in a bunch of fighting scenes now."
He's a
You said
jiu-jitsu
hold
master.
your own.
Hey, boner.
I didn't have it in before when I said it, so I was a little premature.
That was great.
You do, God damn it! You do realize that the expression "hold your own" is a reference to being
Hey,
able
boner.
to. God damn it! That's two.
Oh, speaking of Spock, we did have some something very important. Charles earlier, I recorded him talking about Spock. He was very upset.
Kurwa Spock.
That's him calling Spock
Spock. What's
a
that?
bitch.
What's that mean? Oh, the read?
Oh, listen. It's late. That was bad. Okay, I apologize.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about that. Where somebody did a noise complaint towards Spock about him playing his weird Vulcan violin.
He's smacking that thing hard.
Well, at least he's enjoying it.
I guess now he can't. I will try to not be as vigorous when I play with myself.
See, when I saw that, I was like, oh my god, I'm fairly certain the one who filed the complaint was La'aan.
She got up and walked over there, put a suit on, like, I'm just going to walk over here and stop it.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that the one that's filing the complaint is actually her. I think it's her.
That's pretty funny. Now, I'm wondering if Carol there is she gonna recognize? Because we get this foreshadowing of her art and all that, and I have a house in Vermont. Like you said, just in case this utopia crumbles, this socialist utopia crumbles. And then back to where she's like,
weirdest
these aren't
accent ever.
stolen. Yeah, it's weird. It's hard to like even mimic because I haven't heard it enough to.
But I mean, I don't know. It's just, remember when the agent from that temporal protection agency or something had told La'aan that she was not allowed to talk about what she had experienced. So even if Pelia, I think her name is Pelia, even if Pelia does recognize her and tries to bring it up with her, La'aan is strictly forbidden to even talk about it with anyone.
Yeah, because you know why?
Damn it, Fennel. Fennel.
Because if anyone ever hears about the incident in the future, they could pinpoint that exact moment and go back and change it again. If the Romulans ever found out that happened at that point in time, they could pinpoint where to jump to when they did develop the technology at some point.
Yes,
exactly. Because you never know. If it stays in her head, it's always in her head. But if it ever leaves, there's the possibility that someone's going to find out about it.
Exactly. So she's not allowed to talk about it.
Buried alive.
You
My God.
King. And whatever he advises, we must obey.
Fennel, stop it. Oh my God.
Oh, so is that from Taxi?
Yes, that's her voice in Taxi.
Back as soon as I fly into space, okay?
No, that was Danny DeVito. That was not her.
Zen's producer, I do actually smell toast.
You're having a seizure, a stroke.
Fennel, stop it. I don't know, maybe I am having a stroke. I mean, does the side of my face look like it's going limp?
Yes. And?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yes.
But, we put this thing up and I can't show my shirt off.
Yeah, well.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, look.
I know someone else.
His comm badge is on straight.
That's right.
Fuck him.
The higher I got, the straighter it got. I don't know.
Be on camera.
I know someone else who had supposedly had a uniform probably exactly like this and never got on the show, and he always wished he did, and I'm glad he didn't. I'm just saying. Superman, not in Star Trek land.
You deserve to wear that shirt right now.
I wish I had a Star Trek uniform, and it would be the one that they wore in Deep Space Nine. Starting in Season 4, the one with the gray top on the shoulders. That's my favorite Star Trek uniform. Fennel, stop it!
Kirk shirt for me.
This is one of my favorites because I like Next Generation so much, so maybe that's something we could do one day. We'll all dress
up in shirts?
Our favorite uniforms.
Okay,
we should go to a Comic-Con at that point.
Son of a bitch.
She says you're having an erection.
Are we still on that? For the last goddamn time.
Yep.
No OnlyFans.
No, you see, she was an anti-socialist, Zen's producer.
God damn it. All right, on that note, I will be right back. I gotta feed my cat.
Oh, okay.
You should scissor.
You
should just scissor in case. He's moonwalking. He just slapped his ass for you, Becky. You saw that? He just slapped that ass. Clip it. And, do as thou wilt.
It's covered. Should we uncover it? He can.
No.
We could just do this.
No. All right. We could just look at Charles Weeden's chair. And the cat. So anyway, what else you got?
For this episode, that's about it. I mean, I thought it was cool, but you're right. Because it's not the right Kirk, it's an alternate, a brand new Kirk. We find, we get some character development for him, but he is different. But he still has the same charm as the other Kirk.
Hey,
so
maybe that's why he's got all those little differences in his personality, like the and such. Because
you're right. Yes,
affectations of a slightly different man.
Perhaps if you grow up on Mars or Venus or Moon, wherever he did, that they do a lot. It's hard to, communication is hard. It's harder to hear there. The atmosphere isn't good.
And maybe the Prime Kirk will be more like Shatner. Let me tell you, this kid is so close. I don't even want to call him a kid now after finding out that Christina Chong is 39. I wonder how old this Paul Wesley is. But this guy is doing so well as Kirk. He's 40 years old. He's not a kid.
Wow.
This gentleman is doing a wonderful Kirk. I would just love to see him do it spot on. You know what I'm saying? I want.
You know what? Isn't that what happens though? I mean, if you're older, a little older, and have more experience acting, and have more connections and this and that, and you do look the age, you're probably going to get the job over someone younger that is just coming around.
Stop trying to justify the fact that you're too old for the music industry. 27. It's the cutoff, man. You didn't make it in time to be 27.
You never hear it in a record store.
That was a great punchline, though.
That was a great punchline. Yeah, no, I was like, oh,
you Charles don't know what you're talking about. Nobody knows.
We got talked about today quite a bit, actually. A lot of people heard our names that shouldn't have.
It's about a 4.5 hour show talking about nothing. Absolutely nothing.
So what we got talked about?
They were just talking about the DJR network dramas with Stevie Lou and all of us idiots, and it was a long show.
Were they talking about me at all?
Were you in any of it? No, you're safe always. We keep you out of that world ever since Anonymous tried to attack you and
hold on. You say that, but no, it was Anonymous.
Anonymous.
Yeah.
Ever since that,
we all know who it really was.
Okay, ever since Toby 1 tried to pretend to be anonymous and attack you, and then tried to sexually harass you, we've kept you out of that world. What are you doing? You're trying to put a spell on us?
This is my anonymous music. Ominous Anonymous.
Ominous.
This is making me incredibly uncomfortable.
It made me forget what I was even over here looking for.
Oh man, it's making me all willy. Ooh. Oh boy, here we go.
All right, so we'll be back in a couple of days. We were thinking, right? Maybe on Sunday night.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Down for Sunday night.
Yep.
All right. Well, actually, the last review show we did got it's got some views now. Thank you, everyone. If you're coming back, please stick around for more. Because come see our other shows too.
This shit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you, everybody. Good night. We'll see you.
Don't forget the golden rules, folks. Don't forget the big.
You don't say Lucas of the Bind. You don't.
Oh.
You wanted a scissor. Nope. It's too late.
No. I heard it.
I would nothing. I was get a scissor. Don't forget the golden
scissor.
rule.
All right, the fucking scissor. We'll see you.